Okay, good afternoon everybody and welcome to this live YouTube broadcast. Just to note that on our side we're applying all of the necessary COVID protocols here. We're at extensive distance in the chapel and armed with masks and sanitizer, and of course it's our attentiveness to the COVID regulations both in letter and in spirit that's led us to the arrangements for this afternoon. It is one of the hottest afternoons of the year, so the silver lining, I suppose, in the cloud that we can't actually see you in person today is that at least you can enjoy the information that's coming your way from the comfort of your homes or your offices, your chosen spaces. So we all know that this year has begun in a way that we would not have chosen if we could. It's far from what we hoped for the beginning of 2021, but there is good reason as members of Somerset College for us to be confident in our ability to address what lies ahead of us. It's absolutely natural, of course, that there will be anxiety amongst you. It's typical even in non-COVID years when your children are joining us that you will have questions, you will want to see them settle, you want to ensure that they are happy. But obviously with the pandemic on the go, there's added anxiety. So I just want to address those anxieties for a moment. You'll remember, well, you'll know that last night the President spoke to everybody and let us know that we were remaining in adjusted level 3 and has said that we should wait for a decision on the opening of schools. However, there's nothing in the adjusted level 3 regulations which prevents schools from opening. And if you look at what pertains under level 3 for schools, we are able to open in the manner that we've indicated in the correspondence that went out to you on Friday last week. And what we have seen, the green shoot of hope from one of the HODs of the Department of Basic Education is that he has said that they are going to follow a differentiated, risk-adjusted strategy by region in reopening schools. And so that is hopeful in that we know that what the data is telling us is that it seems Winelands, Overberg and the Cape Metro are either coming down from the peak or plateauing and about to come down for the peak, whereas places like Gauteng will be on their way to the top of the peak. And so that is hopeful news. We've also consulted with doctors at local hospitals about their admissions situation, and one of the key pieces of advice there that we're applying is that it's difficult for people to access healthcare at the moment, hospitals being as full as they are, and so that is why we have chosen not to bring everybody back onto campus straight away. We're going to be cautious about this. We want anyone in our community who falls ill to be able to access care. And so please look out for further communication as the week progresses. We've spent far in excess of 100 hours meeting as a COVID crisis team in the school to make sure that we do a diligent job of applying the regulations and looking after the safety of our students and staff and parents and families whilst delivering a strong academic offering. And we've been successful in that, and we're going to continue in that. I think we'll be pushing towards the 150-hour mark this term, and we do that in close coordination with the board. And so you can have confidence in our ability to deliver there. So I want you to hear that we've got this. We can be very confident in the fact that we have done a lot of this before. Last year we've gathered very useful experience. We know what it is that our kids need. Our teachers know how to deliver the curriculum online, and I think our Cambridge results, which were published yesterday, came out yesterday, are further testament to the fact that we've been able to offer a very strong academic service all the way through. And then I want to congratulate you and welcome you to Somerset College. You've made a good choice. You're joining a parent cohort which has built a wonderful legacy of cooperation with the school, and it is a partnership. No matter how much you pay for your school fees, success happens in thirds. It's a third the school, it's a third the family, and it's a third the students. And so we look forward to starting in that vein with you and continuing all the way through your journey with us in that vein. Then I want to talk a little bit about academics and give you an overview there. So of course, we are known for our academics, and we regard that as one of our foundational duties. It's an ethical duty that we give that lots of focus and attention, because we want to ensure that our students have as many doors open for them after school as possible. However, this is not a cookie-cutter school. We are not trying to produce students in a single mold, and there are many ways to be significant in this school, be it on the sports field or in outdoor education, or just in the smaller interpersonal moments where you can reach out to someone beside you and encourage them with a word. All of these things are ways to be significant, and that's what we encourage our students to be. And we encourage them not to compare themselves to other people. They are not required to be somebody else, somebody on a pedestal that they see in front of them. What we are asking is that our students think about how they are showing up every day, and that their aim is to be better tomorrow than they are today. And that, I think, is a recipe for a healthy community and for healthy children and healthy relationships. Of course, you'll hear a lot from heads of schools and educators in general about Fourth Industrial Revolution competencies, skills, and literacies, and those are certainly core to what we do here. Our STEAM offering and curriculum is very much testament to that, but the knowledge curriculum remains absolutely important. The traditional curriculum remains important, perhaps even more important now than it ever has been before. I was sharing a conversation, I had a conversation with some friends of mine over the holidays, and their impression from a head that they had heard to them, that they had spoken to, they might have misconstrued it, was that really knowledge doesn't matter. You can Google that kind of stuff, so kids just need to have the skills. Well, I've got to challenge that, and I want you to know that knowledge is important, because knowledge systems allow us to construct frameworks that allow us to discern what is plausible from what is possibly false. And without that defense, our students are really at the mercy of the search engines, at the mercy of social media and new media news. And so that is something that is still very important to us. So when you see that in the classroom, you know where that's coming from. And then I want to talk a bit about financial sustainability. This school is not a school with massive endowments and 100 years of history and alumni who are just waiting to pour cash in here. So we have to be lean and efficient and rational and conscientious about how we manage our resources. But we have a very strongly committed parent body, and the payments that we took in last year, 98.7% of the fees that we wanted to collect came in, and that's in comparison to 99.5% in 2019, which I think you will agree is a very healthy picture given the economic climate that pertained last year. The school is managed by a superb business manager, Hein Mathieu, backed by superb staff there, and of course Nikki Newton-King in the board, who is a former CEO, deputy first of the JSE, make sure that we run a very tight ship here in terms of governance, and that trickles down into everything we do. And then, of course, we've got our redoubtable staff who are a stable complement of old hands who are proud to work for this school. And we've only got 2 new staff joining us, high quality staff, and so you can be assured that your children are going to be in the hands of people who have a settled, firm understanding of how to produce success in this environment. And then I just want to conclude before I introduce the next speaker and remind you of what lies ahead of you in the remaining presentations, with the reminder that we are partners in this. And we encourage you to continue the legacy that our current parents have established in terms of unity with us as educators. And we hope that you will enjoy a happy time with us. Right, the way that this is going to work is that you're going to hear from our deputies now, and then also from our directors. Then we will have time for questions and answers from you. And after that, you will then split off into your separate grade meetings with the grade heads. This is also that you can get to know us, or at least put a face and a voice to a name in terms of the management team. So thank you for joining us once again, and I'm going to hand over now to Mr. Gareth Tucker.
Good afternoon. My name is Gareth Tucker. I'm the Senior Deputy Head here at Somerset College Senior School. I am the Deputy Head in charge of academic planning, and I'm also the Director of the Somerset College Cambridge program. I'm going to speak to you a little bit today about our orientation program, which will be running over the next 3 days for the majority of our students. I'll speak to you about our engaged school management system, which will allow you to have access to your child's progress in terms of reports and timetables, and then access to the teachers. And then I'll also speak to you briefly about our Cambridge program, so that you have some information about that going forward. So first off, let's talk about our orientation program. We found the orientation program here at Somerset College is very, very important, particularly for our grade 8s, because they are a whole cohort coming in one foul swoop, so to speak. And we run a very comprehensive orientation program for them so that they may get to know their tutors and their teachers as much as possible, and then they also get signed up onto our computer systems and our network, and they get to hear all sorts of information about social media, about planning, about structuring their own day, and all sorts of things which will set them on the right path for their start here at Somerset College. So despite the fact that we are in level 3 restrictions, we have opted to go ahead with the orientation program, albeit we have got the various COVID protocols in place. Those COVID protocols being that the students will still undergo screening, as we do every morning, and we have split the groups into smaller groups so that we have small groups of students moving around, going through the various orientation process. All right, so let me tell you how that's going to work. So orientation for grade 8s runs over 3 days. That's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. That means that the grade 8s will only start their teaching on Monday, the 18th of January. They'll actually start academic classes. So for the remainder of this week, starting tomorrow morning, they will be undergoing orientation. On Wednesday, they need to be at school. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They're going to arrive at school at 7:30. I'm not going to give you the details of the orientation. I'm sure they'll come home with plenty of information to tell you. But they need to be at 7:30. The screening station is in the East Team building. So when you come through to drop them off, we ask that parents drop off your students in the East Team parking lot, and they will go to the East Team Centre, where they will then be screened, and they will answer a few questions, and they will have their temperatures taken. Right, so that'll all take place at the East Team Centre. That will start at 7:30, but you can drop your students off from 7 o'clock. That's on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday morning. The day will end at 1:30 on each of those 3 days. So you can pick your child up at 1:30 in the East Team parking lot again. That's where they will be able to meet you. We ask when you come through and you drop your students off, your child off, or you come pick them up, please do not leave the car. This is all part of our COVID protocols, that anybody that enters the school buildings must be screened. So we ask that parents stay in their cars while their children alight or leave the car, and then come back, get in the afternoon. The only change to that time is on Wednesday afternoon, where grade 8 students who are interested in taking a music instrument or getting lessons in a music instrument, they can stay behind at 1:30, where they will be able to sign up for those classes on Wednesday. That is Wednesday afternoon. That's tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. That sign-up process will take roughly 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So if your child wants to do an instrument, please plan to pick them up at around 2:15. Right. The grades 9 to 12 students who are new to the school will also undergo an orientation, but that orientation process will only run tomorrow on Wednesday. And this includes grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, and Cambridge students who will undergo a orientation tomorrow, where they will meet their tutors, and then they will undergo all the IT processes to make sure that they are hooked up to our network, and they'll meet some of their teachers, and they'll take it from there. So that's for the older grades. The grade 8s, your orientation runs for the 3 days. Right. Part of that orientation process is that the students will be exposed, or not exposed, but they will be shown something called Engage. Now, Engage is the school management system that we use here at Somerset College, and they will have the opportunity to sign up onto their Engage portal, the student portal. And what the student portal does, it allows them to get access to their timetable and all sorts of other information that will come to them via that portal. They will also do their screening, their COVID screening on the Engage portal once they are all signed up and ready to go. That is part of the orientation process. With Engage, there's also a parent portal. And we will be sending out documentation later in this week to all families so that you can sign up and be registered on the parent portal, so you will also have information. You will also be able to see your child's subjects and teachers. You will also be able to see their timetables, and you can also use the parent portal to access any reports at the end of each term. You can also use the parent portal to contact the teachers. So please look out for those emails that will be going out to you during the course of this week, which will allow you to sign up and be registered on the parent portal. I must just mention that each family gets only one sign-in login code. So there's one login code per family. So in other words, if mom and dad both want to sign on, the idea is to use one sign-on code and make sure that you both know the password. Right, so that is orientation and Engage. As we go along, you'll find out a little bit more about Engage, but please look out for that email that I mentioned. Right, then regarding Cambridge, I'm also the director of the Cambridge program. So for those of you who don't know, we've got a Cambridge program that runs here in parallel to grade 11 and grade 12. In Cambridge, it is known as AS and A-level, Advanced Supplementary and Advanced Level. And this program is available to students after they have completed grade 10. So if you are coming into Somerset College now in grade 8 and you are interested in following the Cambridge program, we do have Cambridge information sessions during the course of the year. Please look out for that, and you can hear some more information regarding that. I know right now I'm speaking to a couple of new students who are joining our Cambridge program, so I'd like to welcome you, and I will see you guys tomorrow during your orientation. But please just keep a lookout. The information evenings, or the information mornings rather, are held normally around about May, June to start with. And that's where we start sending out information about the Cambridge program. Right, I know Mrs. Searle is going to speak to you a little bit about our Cambridge results when she speaks to you about the academic side of what Somerset College does. Just one last thing. Your children will get to meet their tutors tomorrow. The tutors are very, very important, and they are generally your first point of contact if you have any questions to the school, or you have anything that you need to know, or you want to contact any teachers. So your children will meet their tutors tomorrow, and this afternoon, you as parents will have a chance to meet the grade heads. Each grade has 2 grade heads, and they are, I suppose, in charge of the tutors for that grade. They support them, and they help them along as well. But you will get a chance to meet the grade heads today. This is a very important process as well. It's just making sure that you know what's going on in the grades. So please look forward to that. That'll take place at the end of this meeting. Right, so that's it from me. Thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing you all in real life once we get back to campus.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Claire Searle, and I'm Deputy Head in charge of Academics and Innovation at Somerset College. I'll be summarising our academic offering and something of our track record in academics, and talking a little bit about expectations at the college and also our broader ethos and how academics fits into the holistic approach that we embrace at the school. We are so lucky to be situated in such a beautiful area of the country and be surrounded by such beautiful natural beauty. It's just such a pity we can't receive you on campus today, but we look forward to seeing you in person soon. And of course, it is always the people that really make the place special. So I'm very grateful that you were able to meet some of the very special people at this place, albeit virtually, this afternoon. At Somerset College, we have incredibly passionate and accomplished teachers, but they are only actually part of what makes the school special. The coaches, the administrative staff, the facility staff, and our counsellors form a safety net that is there to support your child and to ensure that they grow as best they can in all the ways that they can and to see them flourish. It's truly a very special community, and it is really my pleasure and my privilege to actually welcome you to this community today. It's a very special moment. This is frequently the time of the year where we take stock of our school, look back over the last year or years, and adjust plans for the following year or years. And it's a time of the year that we think about our academics, we see our results coming out, and we're reminded of what makes our academics truly special. And I want to talk just a little bit about the staff complement, the faculty staff at Somerset College that really are special human beings, and once again, so accomplished. So we have an academic staff complement of 63 teachers, 27 of whom are actively involved with the IEB, the Independent Examinations Board, as examiners, senior sub-examiners, sub-examiners and moderators. So this means that it is they who have been chosen, in the case of an examiner, to set the final exam paper that grade 12s will write at the end of the year and to set that paper for the IEB. That is then a paper that will be written by every IEB school. It is truly an honour to be selected, and we have many examiners employed at the college. In addition, moderators, sub-examiners are responsible for guaranteeing the level of the exam papers at other schools and schools in the cohort, and overseeing the work of other schools, ensuring that it is graded at the correct level. And so we really know that this shows that our teachers know exactly what to do to get our students where they need to go and to get them the results that they are looking for and that they need. And I think that's really important. So for students who are watching, I appeal to you, and I'm going to ask you to trust your teachers and to work with your teachers. So not only am I very proud to call those people my colleagues, but I can really say that they know how to get students where they need to go. And of course, what we're talking about is quite a narrow definition of academics and school life. Nevertheless, it is important. Students come to us to receive a qualification, the first major qualification they will receive in their lives. We take that responsibility very, very seriously. So I've spoken a little bit about the IEB, but of course we don't limit ourselves to just offering the IEB matric and qualification, but also to offering a Cambridge qualification that my colleague Gareth Tucker referred to just earlier. It's for most of you, it's a while until you have to make this decision, but just to preempt that by saying this really, the choice between the IEB and Cambridge is based on the advice of teachers and on your disposition as a student. And really it's important to know that our students are accepted into universities here and abroad with both qualifications. That's often a question that parents ask. So really we have students going and applying overseas, for example, with an IEB qualification and doing extremely well. So really why it's important that I mention this is that it is the cross-pollination from the Cambridge to the IEB curriculum and the different ways of doing things and the fact that we learn from each other. That's one aspect that makes our academics very special, and that's something that we celebrate. In terms of our track record, I've said that my colleagues are accomplished and are passionate about what they do, but the proof is in the pudding. And I just want to briefly mention some of the results that we really celebrate. Bearing in mind that our 2020 IEB results have not been released yet because of delays in the schedule caused by the closing of schools last year and the coronavirus. But in 2019, over the last 5 years, we achieved an average of 3 A symbols per student. In 2019, we had 13 students in the top 1%, getting top 1% awards in a variety of subjects. 4 students with commendable or outstanding achievement awards, 7 in the top 5% of the IEB. And in addition to that, we celebrate our 100% bachelor degree university entrance pass, meaning every student in 2019 had the doors of universities open to them. That is truly something to be celebrated for all our students. The Cambridge results are equally impressive, and I just want to once again highlight this just briefly. So between 2015 and 2019, we had 6 top in the world in diverse subjects such as mathematics, English literature, and language. 9 top in South Africa awards in economics, computer science, mathematics, that's over the last 3 years. 10 high achievement awards, and in 2018, Jacques Morris was one of only 22 students worldwide to achieve 5 A stars, and that is a remarkable achievement. Most recently, Rachel Mudge last year, first in the world for maths at AS level. So that is first in the world. And I just think those are incredible achievements, both in the IEB and Cambridge. So those are certainly to be celebrated. But it's very important that we realize this school is not built for or built by students who are all achieving results in their academic pursuits and achieve awards such as the ones I've just mentioned, or students who stand on the podium. The school is for all its students. And while we celebrate outstanding achievements in academics and elsewhere, and so we should, we also celebrate students who are achieving to their best potential. And that is very important to us. We celebrate students who are working to their best potential, flourishing into their aptitudes, and for whom doors are open that perhaps they thought never would be open, who have opportunities that they thought were impossible. And we really do celebrate those students as well. It's something that our teachers work very hard at. We celebrate every child's progress and what they give to the college and the places they find to flourish at the college. And there is a place for everybody. The academics that I've mentioned, the different avenues, Cambridge, IEB, top achievers, those working to their potential, all of this is made possible by our outstanding academic staff, but also by other members of staff, other people in your children's lives. We've mentioned teachers, their tutor who has a mentorship role, the grade head and the student development unit are very, very important and will be important in your child's life. The student development unit is a unit of counsellors that are there to assist your child if they have any concerns, if they're going through a difficult time, and also to help us with our psychometric testing and guiding students into the right subjects. So our student development unit is really a very important part of what we do, and you'll be hearing from that director of the student development unit just now. So going back to what Graham said at the beginning of this afternoon, education happens in thirds and the responsibility is shared. I've spoken a lot about what we do as a school, but responsibility also lies with the parents and with the child. And one of the reasons that I've spoken as I have and chosen to say what I have about the academics is to say that if your child brings what they need to bring, if they live up to their side of the bargain, then there is no reason that your child cannot be successful. And I think that's just really important. If they engage with us, if they choose to try as hard as they can, if they choose to show up and be constructive in the classroom and elsewhere in the school, they will be successful. And we look forward to building those good relationships with your children. Going a little bit more broadly to the ethos of the school, it's not the only reason children come to school to get a qualification and to do schoolwork, and it's certainly very important that children develop themselves in all areas and that they engage in diverse activities, and one of those areas is outdoor education, and we are very passionate about that. We want them to enjoy everything the college has to offer and to really form healthy habits, healthy dispositions, and good friendships, of course. And it's really something very special to see how the academics in the school and the academic staff support the outdoor education and support the sporting staff, and how the sports staff also support the academic staff. And I think at this time of the year, Trek is fresh in our minds from the end of last year. And once again, I was so moved last year by how the academic staff rallied together to support our Trekkers and our Trek staff, keep the school running in their absence, and how many of our academic staff go out on hikes, out cycling, paddling, etc., with our grade 9 students. It really speaks to the understanding that our academic staff have of holistic education and of the classroom outside the classroom. So that's something that I think is just very special about the school. So is the system perfect? Well, it's a human system. It's made up of human beings. And so everything doesn't go right all the time. That is true. Frequently, when things go wrong, it's a misunderstanding. And the sooner we hear about that, the sooner we can solve it. Might be a misunderstanding on either side. And so I really encourage you to let us know if something goes wrong, and for us to be able to come back to you with an answer. And if something is wrong, we want to set it right. Otherwise, sometimes a small misunderstanding, for example, can grow into a bigger problem. But I do encourage you also to follow the correct channels. In this way, you'll get the best answer and the best information for your needs. So to go to the teacher first, if it's an academic issue, then the tutor, then the HOD, head of department, if it's an academic issue, or the grade head, if it's a pastoral issue, then the deputies, and then, of course, the headmaster. And as I said, in this way, you will get the best answer, the fullest information in the shortest time. So that really concludes what I have to say this afternoon, but really just to welcome you here, as I started, welcome you to this very special community. And we really look forward to walking this journey with you and to seeing your child flourish. Thank you.
Mr. Sir, new parents, our grade 8s and our new students, my name is Mr. Brink, and I'm the Deputy Head with main responsibilities of sport, outdoor education and discipline. With regards to sport, we want to get the sports program up and running as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we have to deal with the level 3 restrictions, and we have received very little information from our various sporting bodies. You have heard quite a lot about the challenges that our students experienced last year. And one aspect was definitely the lack of physical exercise and missing out of the positive benefits that is associated with sport or participating in sport, like the social and the mental well-being of our students. We will start with a careful approach to our sports program and ensure that we follow all the COVID protocols, like we do every day at school. Sport will be compulsory for grade 8 students, and I will meet with all the classes and explain the program to them. And parents, I will mail it out to you as well. Our aim this term is to build on skills, develop fitness, create a positive atmosphere and camaraderie, and to give every new student the opportunity to integrate into Somerset College. Claire has spoken quite a bit about our outdoor education program, referring to Trek last year. And the outdoor educational program is definitely one of the highlights in the school. And we were quite disappointed that we had to postpone our grade 8 and grade 11 camp that was taking place this month. We're looking forward to having these camps later the year and to share these experiences with all our students. In terms of discipline, I'm not going to discuss the rules of the school today. I would just like to remind parents and students that this is an educational institution where, most importantly, we have to learn from our mistakes. We understand that students do make mistakes, and then two things need to happen. The first is that there are always consequences for your actions. These can be in the form of a detention, or if it's more serious, it will be a disciplinary hearing, or we can use the process of restorative justice. Running congruently with this is the pastoral route, where we look after the well-being of the students and everyone that is involved. This includes the students, the parents, the teachers, and the tutors. Students, however, you do need to know that there are some transgressions, example bullying or cyberbullying, where we are a little bit less forgiving. And here I need to remind students that we expect the appropriate behavior in class. In the senior school, students are allowed to have their devices with them, as they often need to have it. But during class time, these are used for academic process, for the academics only. And we will not tolerate students playing games on social media and, as I said, being part of cyberbullying. New parents, you might not be aware that we have changed our hair policy last year. The rules for boys and girls are now the same, with hair that's not allowed to be in the eyes, and if it is on the collar or over the ears, it must be pinned up or tied up. I will have a discussion with all our new students to explain this. As a staff, we have made the implementation of this policy a priority, ensuring that all our students look neat and tidy. I'm looking forward to an exciting year and hope that I'll have the opportunity to meet you as parents next to the sports field in person, and not only when you come to collect your child from detention.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sayer, colleagues, parents, and students. What a privilege to welcome you to our Somerset College family. My name is Daniela Randall, and I have officially worked at Somerset College as a full-time staff member for 11 years this year. I did, however, commence my journey at this magnificent school a few years prior to that, when I served as a boarding house assistant while doing my master's degree in psychology, working in both the prep and senior schools. As a permanent fixture at Somerset College, I have been involved in a multitude of areas of campus life, which has assisted me in shaping a global perspective of our school and its beautiful people. From teaching, being a Trek accompanying adult, touring with students, etc., the many roles which I have fulfilled has enriched my experience and stretched me personally. I have always had a passion for education and psychology, and I've thus always worked in the Senior School Student Development Unit, which we refer to as the SDU, about which I will elaborate later. My roles and responsibilities have also matured over the years, and I am currently the Director of Pastoral Care in the Senior School, Senior Therapist in the Student Development Unit, where Saretta Moorman and I provide emotional and academic support in a collaborative and holistic manner with staff, students, and parents. I am a Grade 11 AS Cambridge grade head, Grade 9 tutor, head of the Student Wellbeing portfolio, and am involved in both the staff and student transformation and diversity committees. Just as importantly, I am mother to our two precious children, Matthew and Juliana. Matthew is in the pre-prep at Somerset College, and Juliana is learning to talk and keeping us on our toes. I am married to my beloved Ross and am passionate about and inspired by our students and our school, and constantly seek new challenges and pockets of hope. Through promoting and upholding the core values and ethos of our school, my principal role as Director of Pastoral Care is to assist in creating a meaningful and nurturing environment for Somerset College members. Together with the senior management team, I assist in addressing and assessing, as well as guiding and motivating the various pastoral teams within the school context. Inter alia, the tutor group system, grade heads, vertical groups, which is part of our mentorship system across grades, student leaders, relevant portfolios, and student groups. The Student Wellbeing portfolio strives to create a safe and welcoming space where students feel seen, supported, and part of the Somerset College community. Our Grade 8 mentorship program is another essential building block of our pastoral system, where every Grade 8 is paired with a matric mentor for their first year of senior school. Matric students are greatly involved in the Grade 8 orientation and MISPA camp, which we hope to only postpone this year. It creates ample opportunities to form meaningful relationships which develop throughout the year. Returning to campus will allow for us to reintroduce the vertical group mentorship program, where students meet in clusters across all grades to discuss topics of relevance and engage in fun activities that strengthen connections and relationships. These groups are facilitated by senior students and create magnificent opportunities which enhance school spirit and togetherness. Author Kelly Ann Allen writes about how a sense of belonging at a school is associated with emotional and physical well-being and better academic performance and achievement. Our tutor system is another cog in the wheel of pastoral care and mentorship. This system highly values the critical role that a sense of belonging plays in whole school and whole child adjustment and well-being. Students are divided into boy and girl tutor house groups within their grade, an average of 12 to 15 students per group. Tutor groups meet with their staff tutor every week during a designated tutor lesson and attend termly tutor recreational outings when possible. The tutor's role is to provide both academic and emotional support for their students and to further create and enhance a space of belonging and care for every student on campus. Tutors ensure that they keep abreast of their tutees' academic, sport, cultural and social activities and involvement, seeking to celebrate and encourage each student as an individual. Regular tutor meetings with grade heads for feedback, idea sharing and ensuring that each student is cared for holistically strengthens and actualizes our vision of mentorship. With a vision and mission for students who are innovative and creative thinkers, people of significance and contributing global citizens, I am most fortunate to work in this dynamic environment and so look forward to journeying with you. Welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm Mark Pickering, the Director of Boarding at Somerset College, which means I'm responsible for ensuring that boarding is a safe, meaningful place of growth for all its boarders. In terms of boarding, we can accommodate up to 120 boarders in both in total in our boys and girls boarding house, that being Vineyard House and Founders House respectively. Vineyard House, I started my Somerset College journey here 14 years ago as a boarding house assistant, and now together with Miss Maud Hauke, who's the head of the girls boarding house, we ensure that it is a place where its boarders can really immerse themselves in whatever they're passionate about, whether it's arts, sports, culture, debating, you name it. Whatever they want to get immersed in, they can live it here through boarding, and they do. Living out one of our boarding ethos, one of them, which is when we live, let us truly live. So I look forward to welcoming you to Somerset College, to boarding, to a place that you are literally going to call home, and to a place where we go through everything together. Through boarding, we go through life together, and I look forward to welcoming you. Thank you.
There's an African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. Welcome to our senior Somerset College village. I'm Louise Errett, and I am the Senior PA's Communication Coordinator, as well as mom to a grade 9 and 11 this year. For some of you, this is not your first orientation. You might have older siblings already in the school. For others, this is your first introduction to high school. And of course, we welcome those who are coming from different schools, different countries even, so are brand new to Somerset College. So I remember being in your shoes 3 years ago when we first arrived at college from a different school into grade 8. And I remember how exciting it was, but also that there were some challenges. For high school is a change for both the learners and the parents. In primary, we are the gatekeepers between the school and our children. We get to tick the boxes and control the communication that goes on around their work, their sports activities, extramurals, etc. But now you're entering into these key years where college strives to nurture independent, resilient young people who will flourish in this challenging, changing world. And college does this very well. My son has grown from a shy boy to a quietly confident young man who takes responsibility for his work and for the things he does at home as well. So it starts right at the beginning of grade 8. Most communication regarding classes, sport, etc. is now directly with the child and not with us as the parents. They have to keep in touch with their emails, their WhatsApp groups, and of course their Google Classroom. And you might witness them feeling a little bit overwhelmed initially for the first couple of months as they adjust to getting organized, time management, working out their different subject demands, etc. And as parents, it can be hard because we obviously don't want to see them fail and struggle. So we want to step in. And the key is really that we need to guide them and encourage them to take ownership and do things for themselves. Because the sooner they learn to manage their time and their tasks, the more empowered they will be to learn and excel in high school. So the Senior Somerset College PA is here to assist you with this dynamic transition and through the years that follow as part of the Somerset College community. Our PA team consists of parent volunteers and is headed up by Adam Powell, who represents us on the governing body. For communication purposes, the primary and the senior PA are separate. However, we do work closely on certain projects to create a community across the two campuses. Myself, the communication coordinator, then falls under the senior PA, and I'm responsible for the grade rep team, which play a vital role in communication to yourselves as parents. The PA strives to tap into the energy and many talents of our families to further the interests of Somerset College through firstly providing an effective communication platform between the PA and parents, secondly through the organisation and communication around events and projects that help us build connections between each other to build the college spirit, and thirdly, to provide opportunities for parents to contribute either through their time, volunteering, or fundraising, in that way to make a valuable contribution back to the school. The more value we add to our school, the more enhanced is the learning experience for learners both now and into the future. As the communication arm of the PA, the grade rep team aims to complement school communication through sending out reminders, notifications, important dates, projects that need your support, etc. The communication will be in two main ways. Firstly, a group email will probably be sent out termly, and this will include information like important dates, etc. It is BCC to keep everyone's details confidential. A second but vital communication channel is a broadcast service is set up per grade. This allows the grade reps to communicate messages to the whole group, whilst information or questions that want to be asked only come back directly to the grade rep and not to the group. In this way, we maintain confidentiality and avoid general chit-chat on this important communication platform. A more social WhatsApp group will be also established for the grade, for you to chat and share experiences with each other. What is really important to note for every one of you is that you must save your grade rep as a contact on your phones to be able to receive a broadcast. So we will share this information for you now, and we'll ask you to do it as quickly as possible. What the grade reps are not are all-knowing Yodas with the answers at their fingertips to every question you might have, particularly in these challenging times when things are changing so much and no precedent has been set. But what we do see ourselves is a support for yourself and for the school. And in terms of if you're having questions or needing some assistance, we can help you find the way to get the answers and facilitate that process. So without further ado, let me introduce you to these important people in your life. Firstly, let me introduce the grade 8 rep team. You might want to take your phones out and take a photograph here of this slide, or you can scan the QR code, which will take you directly to the contacts. Lisa and Karen are your lovely grade reps for your grade 8 here, with Lisa being in charge of the grade 8 broadcast. So I'd really like to invite you to capture her details now, save it as a contact, and then to send your contact details directly through to Lisa today if possible, so that she can add you to the broadcast list. Luann Laba is a grade 12 rep but she's also the boarding rep. So if any of your children are boarding this year, please save her as a contact and send your details to her so that she can add you to the boarding WhatsApp group. For our new grade 9 families who've joined us for the exciting trek here, Kim and Bernine are your grade reps, with Bernine running the broadcast. So please save her as a contact and send her your details as well so that she can add you to the group. For our new grade 10s, Nikki and Wulas are your grade reps, with Nikki running the broadcast. And last but equally important, we've got our grade 11 reps, Kirsty and Margot, and Vicky and Luann Labba for grade 12. So Kirsty will be doing the grade 11 broadcast and Vicky will be doing the grade 12, and these will also include the Cambridge learners as well. What I would like to invite you to all do is firstly get in touch with ourselves as the grade reps, but secondly with each other. For some of you may know each other from the primary, but we do have new families that are joining us. And I would like to encourage everyone to reach out and connect with them, particularly in this trying time when we can't physically meet each other. But at least we can connect online, through the telephone, etc., just to really support each other in the journey that you've got for the year ahead. And an opportunity also lies in encouraging our children to do the same, to welcome and include new learners to the school. Secondly, ask for help from the grade reps if you have a question or feeling uncertain, or even if you're just needing a little bit of emotional support. Contact them, because sometimes we think we're the only person who's got that issue, but in reality, many of the parents are experiencing the same thing. So the problem becomes shared and we can get the support that we need. Next, we really want to encourage you to get involved and volunteer and contribute to projects that we have, whether it be a community project or hopefully when we have the return of the sports days, to making boerewors rolls to sell. There's so many ways that we can help support the school, but it's also the added benefit of being part of a community, connecting with each other and supporting each other. Lastly, I'd like to stress the importance of having a positive attitude, both amongst ourselves as parent body, but also to our children, because although they're growing in independence, they still look to us as an example on behavior, on how to solve problems, etc. And I often hear my words coming out of my children's mouths. So we can really play an important part in teaching them resilience. We can't always choose difficult situations. Not everything always goes right. There are problems that occur. But how do we solve those problems? How do we handle conflict? How do we integrate and actually create a more inclusive group of people? All of those things, we can play a critical role in developing those skills in our children. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. If you missed anything, have any questions, or want any clarity on anything, I will now post my telephone number as well, so you can be in contact. We had planned to meet you in person today. Unfortunately, circumstances didn't allow, but hopefully that will change and we'll meet you in the near future. I do think the one advantage of being online is that you could see my face without a mask. So you will hopefully recognize me when we do get the chance to meet, and your grade reps as well. So wishing you well to this exciting phase of your lives, and we look forward to sharing the experience with you.
The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic last year really proved to us beyond any doubt that we do need to move to being a one-to-one device school. That being said, we are not moving to being a one-to-one device school yet. So for 2021, bringing a device is not necessary, but it is advisable. So if your child has a device, for academic use, a device of their own, please do send it to school if you are comfortable to do so. But please be assured that teachers will set tasks and activities appropriately and make use of our computer rooms and the bank of laptops and Chromebooks available for students who do not have devices. So for 2021, devices are not mandatory. Just furthermore, there was a letter sent out to our parents last year detailing our IT strategy. This will arrive with new parents this week, so you can expect that. A final point about devices. For orientation tomorrow, please do send your child with a device. Every student needs a device tomorrow, and that is because we're going to be setting up their IT login details and so forth, and specifically their screening on the Engage app. They will need a device for that, even if it is just their phone. So please do send a device with your child, even if it's just a phone, tomorrow for orientation. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm answering a question that's come through about uniform for tomorrow. Just to remind parents that the uniform for this week for our boys is white socks, shoes, white college golf shirt, and the blue Bermuda shorts. Girls have the option to wear the same uniform as the boys or the school summer dress with white socks and school shoes. Please also note that no students will need their swimming costumes this week. Thank you so much. Good afternoon and welcome to all of our Grade 8 families. I'm Sue Nightingale.
And I'm Robin November, and we are the Grade 8 heads of 2021.
We want to greet you by echoing everything that our Executive Head, Mr. Graham Sayer, has pointed us to this year. Based on the experience of similar circumstances in 2020, our community is confident that
first and foremost, we remember how much we have for which to be grateful. We are in an excellent position to move forward safely and enthusiastically as we chart the current context of the pandemic and the ways that it impacts our students. We prioritize the development and health of our whole child in our care.
And we want to develop relationships with you as families through which we communicate well and clearly so that everyone is aware of and capable of fulfilling their responsibilities in achieving student success. And while we seek excellence in all aspects of student engagement, we choose to champion significance. Every single member of our community can make a significant contribution by discovering and utilizing their talents. And we love our role in helping our young adults discover theirs.
Our role is to oversee the academic and social integration and development of the students in our grade. To do so, we lead a dynamic team of excellent tutors who are just as excited as we are to welcome your children onto the campus. These tutors are registered class teachers for the groups of students in grade 8 and will remain with these students for 5 years at their journey through high school, along with the two of us. These tutor groups are the means through which we get to know our students well, to represent their concerns and champion their personal development, and to be the link between home and school.
This means that our tutors are the first port of call for any engagement between students and parents and the school. It is imperative that we all work together and respect the channel of communication so that we protect this important relationship between home and school. This means that we will always encourage students and parents to reach out to the relevant subject teachers first. This may be achieved telephonically, through calling the Manor House, or via email directly to the teacher, should any concerns arise. Then, where necessary, tutors can facilitate such engagements, and then to contact us, after which we can approach our deputy heads and the executive head should that be necessary.
Having outlined the channel of communication, we also want to note that early and honest communication is key. Please do not hesitate to contact teachers, tutors, or either of us with any queries, to share any information which will help us better serve our students. We know that the child, parent, and school working together creates the best environment for students to flourish and to thrive. Helping to manage this relationship and this environment is our primary goal as grade heads and tutors. The relationships we develop with our students and with you is that of a guide through the exciting challenges of adolescence and the rigors of high school.
And the first exciting challenge is upon us: happy and whole integration into a new school environment. Our orientation program, which commences tomorrow, will provide many opportunities for gathering information, learning about boundaries, learning about self-management, and having fun and making new friends. It epitomizes our community of healthy stimulus and extension, and we ask that you both encourage and enthuse your children.
Enjoy stimulating and bright family time conversations about the experiences in the following 3 days, and take note of the names they mention as they build new friendships.
Ask them interesting questions.
Take delight in seeing your teenager grow in independence as they dare new things within healthy parameters.
And always know that we are right alongside them and waiting to hear from you with anything you would like to share with us.
Thank you for being here with us this afternoon.
We look forward to welcoming your children to campus tomorrow morning.
We note that there are some questions and we'd like to answer some of them right now. First question is, are books and stationery required this week? The only stationery they will need is basic pen, pencil, eraser and a ruler for some of the tests that they'll be doing on tomorrow and Thursday and Friday.
No blazers this week.
No, please, no blazers. We anticipate it's going to be very, very hot, so just a normal summer uniform will be sufficient. The tuck shop, I'm not sure if the tuck shop will be open.
Yeah.
Unfortunately not, the tuck shop will not be available, so please bring a packed lunch and any other snacks that you will require.
And we will certainly be advising on purchase of Chromebooks and any other specifications later this week in due course and in other communications from us and Ms. Searle.
And finally, the question, what to bring to school for orientation? Like we said, the stationery for the tests and a really enthusiastic and happy attitude. Come prepared to have fun.
Students are encouraged to bring a device. We're assuming a mobile device, such as the telephones that they're already using, please. Nothing special, just for the week. It's something that they will be using when directed to do so. It's most certainly something we will be discouraging them to be sitting on permanently. But it's always good to have a link to home. Thank you.
Thank you very much.